I'm Paul Young, and this is Championship Clash. NJCW Championship Gold is on the line as Steve Farley defends his title against the Pine Baron.
There's not a lot of people that know Steve Farley as well as I know Steve Farley, but I'm going to tell you something I do know about him. The man's a quitter. He's a loser. He'll never be the champion for any great length of time. You know how many times he's lost the title? You told me how many times he won the title. That means he lost it each time. Steve Farley loses when it counts. When the title's on the line, Steve Farley is a loser. And that's what you're going to see happen tonight. You're going to look at a winner. A winner like the Pine Baron is going to be the champion again. You know, I was the champion once, Paul. I beat Steve Farley for the title. I made him say I quit in the center of the ring. Well, you're looking at it again. It's going to be the same as it was 5 years ago. It's going to be 5 years ago, all over again, Steve Farley. I'm really not going to get hung up. Maybe if I break the man's leg, or if I break the man's arm, or if I do some facial damage or cut him open. Paul, I don't really care. I like to hurt people. I like to see a man like Steve Farley go down on the mat, writhing in pain. I like to see a guy like that bleeding out of his forehead, and then we're going to see it all tonight. You'd like that, wouldn't you, Paul? Tell the people how much you'd like to see it.
His opponent from Winona, New Jersey, your NJCW champion, Steve Farley!
Now, there's a fact here that everyone needs to be aware of. That is that there is still a $3,000 bounty out on Steve Farley. Now, Pine Baron already cashed in on Killer Ken. This might be his chance to make even more money. Steve Farley is going to be humiliated, and I'm going to be ringside to see it.
This is what it's all about, Leeds. Come on, Farley!
Steve Farley with the familiar NJCW Singles Championship belt and a familiar opponent. He made the point to tell the Pine Baron, William Leeds, this is what it's all about, but the Pine Baron knows that.
You can lose something.
Pine Baron beat Steve Farley for the title and defended it for a full year. For what was the longest continuous title reign in NJCW history. They meet again. Diamond Earl Scruggs, of course, at ringside. Pine Baron taunting Steve Farley before going to work here. A boot and elbow. And big right hands with that taped fist. Pine Baron going to work quickly here. 1 count by senior official Brett Mooring. Steve Farley likely not to be surprised in this matchup by anything the Pine Baron does. Pine Baron likely not to be surprised by anything Steve Farley does. But that won't stop either man from trying. Steve Farley, first cover attempt, broken up with a handful of hair. Blatant choke. We're about a minute into this matchup here. We've had a blatant chokehold, people escaping into the rings, handfuls of hair. Now a rake of the eyes, it looks like. And now a shove of the official. Referee Brett Mooring, he's going to have to let a lot of things go if we're going to have a tag team match worthy of these fans here. 3, 4. Leeds still hasn't broken the hold, but Steve Farley just flips him through the ropes. That's one way to get a break.
I got 10.
Pine Baron, hands on hip. racing outside. Interesting tactic here by the Pine Baron. He's not the champ. He has to get back in that ring and beat Steve Farley by pinfall or submission in order to get that belt. Of course, there's one more wrinkle in this match, and in fact, in any match that Steve Farley's involved in, there's a $3,000 bounty on his head. Diamond Earl Scruggs, our board representative, who is ringside to monitor proceedings in this championship match, well, he's also still the leader of the Diamond Stable. And of course, he's got bad blood with Steve Farley for turning on him for leaving the Diamond Stable and for winning this title once he left. Diamond Earl insists that Steve Farley cannot survive without the Diamond Stable. He predicted that Steve Farley would be humiliated in this match. And as if to prove his point about Steve Farley being a wanted man, he quite literally put a bounty on the man's head. $3,000 paid immediately to anybody who can send Steve Farley to the hospital with an injury. Pine Baron's already collected the bounty on Killer Ken. He sent Killer Ken Fulgen to the hospital with a shoulder injury. And now he's exchanging knife-edge chops and right hands with the champ. The challenger's shirt is torn wide open. And there's a big old paw print on that chest now. Scoop slam by Steve Farley, who's back in control of this matchup. This is the leg drop, though. And of course, the Pine Baron going to work on that leg. Make a mistake with the Pine Baron, and he takes advantage of that mistake. And by that we mean he takes advantage of that part of the body. Wrenching back on that ankle and knee there on the right leg. Using Steve Farley's own body weight against him. Knife edge chops to the back, the forehead, the clavicle. Handful of hair, and now Steve Farley to the outside. Champ is sprawled out, and the Pine Baron has to follow him out there. Has to get him back into the ring if he wants that title belt. Normally we'd say the Pine Baron is only interested in inflicting punishment and collecting the bounty. But he's held that belt before. And he wants to take it back, especially if he means taking it back from his fiercest rival. Champ has bought himself a little time here on the outside by fighting off some of the Pine Baron's offense. What did the Pine Baron just grab from the ringside table there? He grabbed the microphone. He just smacked Steve Farley with that microphone. Now he's got a chin lock. Now going into a modified crossface. Knee into the small of the back. Tremendous combination move here by the Pine Baron. Steve Farley trying to bust out of it. And it looks like he has. Steve Farley still has the strength and leverage advantage, and he used it there. Used his great athletic ability there to deliver a drop kick in the corner. 1, 2. Pine Baron grabs the ropes. Smart move by the Pine Baron, and again he's on the outside. Slumped up against those cinder block walls here in the Monroe Business Arena. Trying to get himself a little rest. Steve Farley trying to reach for the Pine Baron on the outside, now crawls through himself. And we've got a chase going on. Pine Baron slides back into the ring. Oh, and he may have just lured Steve Farley into a trap. Steve Farley, second man into the ring, has the disadvantage. Pine Barren with an elbow to the sternum. Now grabbing both legs and sitting back. 2 count. That was close to a title change.
Go, Caster. 3 count the same.
Quick right hand there with that taped fist. Handful of hair again. Front face lock. Grabbing the tights. Steve Farley blocks what looked like a suplex attempt. And Steve Farley got him over with a suplex of his own. Lateral press. 2 in a row to the shoulder.
Come on, NJCW!
Steve Farley calling to the crowd, which responds with a cheer. Both men to a vertical base. Whip into the ropes. Knife edge chop off of the ropes. A second whip into the ropes and a second knife edge. And that one takes the Pine Barren. William leads off his feet. Second rope there for Steve Farley. Went to drop a front elbow a la the Hitman, but missed. Now the Pine Barren going to work on the wrist and the forearm there that just hit canvas. Now wrenching on that wrist. Now the Pine Barren's fighting with the ref. He's lost his focus on his challenger here, his opponent in the match, and it may have cost him. Steve Farley, with that little bit of time afforded him, is back in control of this matchup. Pine Barren reaching for that bottom rope, and Steve Farley pulls him off. Spring off that bottom rope into a splash. Both men feeling that one though. Pine Barren to his knees first. Handful of hair. But Steve Farley was his own handful of hair, and the Pine Barren to the outside again, but that's not how he wanted to go out. Thrown over the top ropes. Now a handful of hair again as Steve Farley follows him outside. Big right hands. 2 of them. But a retaliation by the Pine Barren. They're fighting into the crowd over by the concession stand here. Don't know if our viewing audience at home can see all of this. They're coming dangerously close to the edge of our hard camera angle there. Back into view now, a handful of hair and a face full of chair there. The referee is calling for the bell.
Both men are disqualified.
Getting our announcement there, both men are disqualified. Our fans cleared out of a few seats there when the action spilled over towards them. Those seats have become part of the action here. This fight is continuing. Both men have been disqualified, but they've still got something to fight for. Pine Barren perhaps for that bounty, and Steve Farley just because he can't stand his opponent, and that his opponent got them disqualified here.
Hey, Leeds, I'll see you later tonight in Mega Brawl. No DQ falls count anywhere. I'll see you then.
Steve Farley saying he'll see the Pine Barren in Mega Brawl when there's no disqualification bell to save you.
That's all for tonight. Join us again for Championship Clash.